question that probably many of our viewers might be having in mind with regards to you specifically would be your personal experience with Islam, Hindus, and India. So, when exactly in the point of time in your life did you realize that whatever you have been told about India and Hindus is in fact not the truth by the state of Pakistan? When did this realization dawn upon you?
I was quite young. I think the 1965 war, just after that, when as a 15-year-old, I would hear that angels are descending from heaven, and when the Indians bomb Pakistan, the angels catch the bomb and drop it in the river Ravi. And I said, that doesn't look, that's not credible. We used to get the Times of India. I had just started college September 1st, 1965. And in the college library is where we would get the Times of India. And at that time, the Pakistani infiltrators had already gotten into Indian administered Kashmir and what was called Operation Gibraltar. So I would go first thing in the morning to read what had happened, because it gave you the other side of the story. And then on the day of the war, 6th September, the newspapers stopped. And we suddenly, I personally felt that I was caught in a situation where I had only one thing to hear. So we used to get Akashvani and Doordarshan, at that time shortwave radio. That was considered an act of traitorship if you're listening to that. So it was more out of curiosity. And I had lived most of my child life in an area where almost 100% of the residents were immigrants who had come from UP and Bihar and Hyderabad and Bhopal, the Urdu-speaking Pakistani. And I realized that they were more hostile to India than the people of, say, Sindh, who were the actual residents of Karachi. And so it just makes you think 2-3 times, what's the reality? Thank goodness for the British Council that had a huge library, and including the American Information Service Center. Anyway, they had huge libraries in Karachi. After college, I started visiting these libraries, and I started reading up. And you won't believe it, the first serious book I read was my father's edition of Savarkar's 1857 War of Independence. I didn't know anything that this was a controversial figure or what he was, but it was in my dad's library. He was a reader and a good student of history, but very, very anti-Indian. After he migrated from Mumbai, I still have his full-page article against India written in a newspaper in Karachi. But that gave me a consciousness that we were actually Indians. So, and the fact that Jinnah couldn't speak any Pakistani language was incredible. And then the first thought that made me feel that there's something rotten about this is how the people of West Pakistan would treat the people of East Pakistan, which is today Bangladesh. Mm-hmm. They were politically far ahead of us. And our interaction between them, because the country had interwing scholarships, and a lot of Bangladeshi students used to study in Karachi University. lived amongst us. That triggered different. Then there was, left-wing organizations, the student wing of the Communist Party of Pakistan, which was the NSF, National Students Federation. Those are the people who made me aware that this is utter nonsense. Angels don't come to as anti-aircraft fire. So one looked at war and the invasions and plundering of India from a different sense. Once you understand that Pakistanis had infiltrated Jammu and Kashmir, and the entire population was lied. And not only that, the operation was called Gibraltar, which, as you know, is the mispronounced word for Jabal al-Tariq. These are when, in the year the Muslims invaded India and Sindh, they also invaded Gibraltar, Spain, and collected under the rock, which the leader was Tariq ibn Ziyad. He was a Berber general. So Gibraltar means the invasion of Spain. So here you had the Pakistan army infiltrating India under the guise of Kashmiri freedom fighters, and that title was not Kashmir or anything about India, but Gibraltar. You suddenly realize that even in your own mementos that you're creating with other people, you're borrowing from. Then it came to me to understand that my parents had named me Tarek, which, by the way, later on I found out is a Sanskrit word, but that's different. But my younger brother was Mahmud from Mahmud of Ghazni. So the whole system of approaching India and the non-Muslim world as places that armies would go and plunder is horrifying. And if you're wondering where it's one of the words, Tara jo hota hai, usse hai ye. It's one of the few Sanskrit words that goes into Arabic. The early morning star. Tara, Sitara, Tarek, they all come from India. तो लोग मुझे कहते हैं नाम बदलने, मैंने कहा मैं बदनसीब का तो नाम ही है संस्कृति तरक से है तो वरना कर देता मैं बदल.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.